Hello friends, this is with respect to our series of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Last time I had spoken on my experience of export order, that is my exports to USA in daily telemetrics. Today I am going to speak on a similar subject, and that is my first purchase order with IOCL, that is Indian Oil Corporation Limited. Well, do you know IOCL, Indian Oil Corporation, is the largest company in India in the government sector. It contributes around 3% to the GDP of India and employs around 3,80,000 people. So recently we got registered in IOCL. It was a long and a tedious job to get registered in IOCL, and I would like to share my experiences with you. IOCL basically follows a procurement policy of tenders. I would just like to tell you something. In government sector, anything if you buy, even if it is a pin, you have to go to the government procurement route, that is through e-tendering. So any value of purchases above 1 lakh in IOCL always goes through the government tender route. Now there are two types of tender. One is the open tender, in which everyone can participate, and there is a limited tender. Now limited tender is only limited to those parties who are approved for a particular product or service. As we were new, we didn't have the privilege to go in limited tenders, so we opted for open tenders. We have a product known as orifice assembly. So quite a few of these tenders keep on coming, and we keep on quoting. Now finally we got a purchase order in one of those tenders. Now how the process was, the tenders are mostly published in Indian Oil Corporation Limited, that is www.iocltenders.gov.in. You have to go there is a search option there. You have to search for your tenders of your particular subject. Now the search is always done on basis of the subject. Like I want to quote for a tender of orifice, I can quote for orifice. If I want to search for a tender of steel, I can go and quote for steel. Once you have searched for that particular tender, the documents come down, they are downloaded. Now there are two types of documents. One is the technical documents and the other commercial documents. The commercial documents are known as BOQ, that is bill of quantity, whereas the technical documents may be in various parts. There is technical A, technical B, technical C, technical D, technical E. Now with respect to the technical documents, first you have the technical specification, which you have to study very thoroughly, because one little mistake can make you a lot of losses for you. And the second part is the BOQ, where you have to fill all the details and upload it on the website when you are quoting for the tender. So now let's come to the first part, that is the technical documents. In the technical documents, there is the technical part which specifies the product. There is a part which specifies what will be the inspection procedure or the quality procedure, and the most important in the technical part is the PQC, that is the pre-qualification criteria. That basically specifies the criteria with which one can quote for a particular tender. If you are not meeting that criteria, then you won't be able to quote for that particular tender. So we were meeting the specification criteria, hence we have quoted for that tender. So now how the process goes, you have to download all the documents, go to some good editor like www.serga PDF or something, convert all your documents in PDF, fill those documents, edit them, and then digitally sign. Kindly remember, any document, if it is not digitally signed, then automatically it is rejected by IOCL. Once you have digitally signed all your documents, now the second process is of uploading the documents. You can upload all the documents only with using your DSC, that is a digital signature certificate. Once you have uploaded all the documents, there is a tab for final submission. You have to press the tab and all your documents are then submitted. So then who gets the order? Finally, see, IOCL follows the procedure of L1 policy. That is, if your prices are lower, only then you can get the order. If your prices are not lower and you are not meeting the L1 standards, you can't get the order. So fortunately for one of these tenders, we met the L1 standards, and finally we got the purchase order. Once we have got the order, now the next process is manufacturing the product. IOCL is very concerned with the quality of the products. So whenever you're getting any tender, you can still buy steel only from their prescribed vendors. You can buy flanges from their only prescribed vendors. You can buy even a nut can't be brought from outside external sources. You have to buy from their prescribed vendors only. So now the second part of that project is, once the manufacturing is done, that is now the most toughest part comes, that is the inspection. Now inspection is mandatory in all IOCL tenders. Inspection is not done by IOCL, it is always done through some TPI agencies. Now what is TPI? TPI means third party inspection agencies. Tata Projects Limited, Newcon assessors, and there is a list of some 10 to 15 companies who are TPI. They are the third party inspectors of IOCL. They come, visit your premises and take a charge on basis of which they do the inspection for you. Now the charges of these TPI agencies are on per day basis. In particularly our case, we were paying 11,000 rupees per day. So you have to be very clear when you have to call your TPI agency. Suppose there is a little mistake and your material is not ready, TPI persons are not going to leave you, they are going to charge. Now we were not so organized, like our manufacturing was over, but polishing was left, a little of the packing was left. So finally it took us 3 days. So we had to shell out an amount of 21,000 rupees, which could have easily been done in 1 day. So that was a big loss and a big blow to us. Now once your inspection gets over, you have to submit some special documents. Without these documents, again also your product gets rejected. Now with respect to our case, we are manufacturing orifice assemblies, so we had to give first of all the MTC. The MTC means material test certificate. All materials which are submitted to IOCL have to be necessarily be given with an MTC, that is the material test certificate, which specifies where the material origin is there, what is the chemical composition of the material, what is the physical properties of the material. Now the second part is PMI. PMI is positive material identification. What happens is the product that you are manufacturing, a part of that is broken, a very small part. It is known as destructive testing, and that material is again tested by the TPI agencies, the third party inspection agencies, and they give you a PMI report. You have to attach that PMI report along with your list of documents. Now the third part comes, that is the ultrasonic testing or the UT testing, as we know, even also known as radiography. Now in radiography, what ultrasonic testing is done from labs which are accredited by NABL. Any lab which does an ultrasonic testing and doesn't give you the TPI, doesn't give you the ultrasonic test certificate without their NABL affiliation or the NABL number, is automatically rejected by IOCL Limited. The fourth part is the dye penetrant test. Now dye penetrant test is a very costly test. It costs around 20 to 25,000 for a dye penetrant test. So what we had done is, we had developed this test in house. We had dye penetrant test is where a dye is put on a product, it then on any sort of welding surfaces and all, it then slowly seeps into the area, and then a developer paper is collected, and this dye is then it is kept on that material. Through this test, actually basically the porousness or the welding quality of a product is checked. So what we had done is, we had purchased dye as well as a developer paper, and we did the dye penetrant test all of our own. Now the final when all these things were done, then the final thing which was left was packing the material. The material had to be packed very securely, and it was given to the authorized transporters of IOCL. Again, IOCL has a problem, is most of the refineries are in remote places, Panipat and all these places. So all transporters don't reach. So they have got 3 approved transporters. One is TCI Express, one is ARC Roadways, another is VRL Logistics. We had submitted our material through VRL Logistics. It took us during the lockdowns more than 30 days to reach Panipat. The material reached there and it was inspected, and then our payments were cleared. Now the payments part of IOCL is very good. You don't have to chase at all for your payments. It takes mostly 7 to 10 days to get your payments realized. I hope I have given all the information to you. If something is left, then definitely comment me on my YouTube video. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.